There are always these moments in life where things don't go quite as you might hope they would. It's just the longer you live, the more likely that is to happen. It's not always a bad thing, but there are times when you hope for something and you plan for it and everything is looking good and things seem to be in place and it's all going ahead and it doesn't work out the way you hope. We've had something like that recently, and in fact I remember a time before I got my last job and I was leaving my previous one. It was time to leave that job and I wasn't sure what I was going to do next, and I found a job I really wanted and I thought it was going to be perfect for me, and a whole lot of things looked like they were falling into place, and got an interview and I interviewed well, I thought, and I was in the short list and they gave it to someone else, and I thought, that wasn't the plan. That wasn't supposed to happen. I was supposed to get that job, I thought. Turns out they actually knew who they were going to give the job to before they interviewed me. I was a bit miffed about that. But it really helps at times like that if you are not caught up with the myth that you're central to the whole world. Now, I know none of us really would ever pretend out loud that we are central to the whole world. But it is the thing that we often act or live or behave as if the whole world revolves around us, and when things don't go well for us, it's an absolute disaster. Well, it certainly feels like one for us personally often. But one of the really great things about being dislodged from the centre of your own story is that you can more adroitly respond to those unexpected moments when things don't quite work out according to your own plan, because it's not all about yourself. You work out, okay, that didn't happen the way I expected. What can I do now? What's the next best helpful thing I can do? Where can I make my contribution, given that that door hasn't opened in the way I expected? What are my other options? Where do I go from here? And no matter what the situation, no matter how difficult it might prove to be to not have things go the way you had hoped, there is always a way to live into your life well. And in a sense, the more loosely we are held by a particular plan, the more capably we can respond to the varying circumstances with which we are ultimately faced. So one of the beauties of a faith, I think, is it offers you a grand narrative. Now, albeit that in my 40 or so years of following the person of Jesus, my understanding of what that means has changed quite radically. And many of the contours of it are the same, but many are significantly different as well. But it does always provide for me a broader context, a context that isn't just caught up with me. And so when things don't work out for me in the way that I hoped they would, there's this opportunity for me to bounce that around with someone bigger than me and say, what gives? This is not what I was expecting. It's not what I thought you were going to do. Not what I thought I was going to do. And there's this opportunity to reflect and go on in a way that is, again, not all about me or you for that matter. So hope you're having a good holiday. Those of you who are on university holidays, some of you working, some of you are catching up with family and friends, some of you are holidaying, I know, in other parts of the world. How wonderful. I imagine there's many opportunities for things to not be going quite the way you expected. The whole world has changed in the last few years, and that's been difficult for all of us. But if you've got a narrative, a grand narrative, a bigger story, in which you play a part but are not central, you actually have this really good opportunity to make the best of every situation for a good purpose. So I encourage you to think about that. We're beavering away at the college still, even though you're not here, or some of you are, not many, and look forward to seeing you when you come back, or if you are around, come pop into the office or catch up with us around the campus and have a chat, talk about life, chew the fat. God bless. See you soon.